2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
How about that music? I love Latin music. Wayne Gillman, how are you?
I guess okay. I'm glad to be here. For a minute, I thought I was on a Felipe Luciano show or something, Yeah, but it's great to be here, Kay. It's been a while.
See you again.
Right.
We talk and we talk. Briana Scott, how are you doing?
I am good, thank you.
In from England?
From England, yes. To go back on Monday.
By way of from Bermuda?
British Airways.
Yeah, British.
They're still flying?
You're going to school there?
Yes, I am. Back to school.
And you've been calling in from Bermuda, so now you're...
Yes.
Yeah. You had to have two citizenships?
I do. I have dual citizenships.
But you also have a third American citizenship.
Well, no. Well, I have American citizenship and I have British citizenship, and I can get the Bermudian, but the British is better than Bermudian. So.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to let your friends in Bermuda hear that. You know? Also expecting Eric Payne to be calling in. Their Tati. He'll be calling in just about a few minutes. You know, we were all involved with.
I'm here.
Okay. He's on. Eric, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, good afternoon. Good evening, Eric. How are you?
Good evening, Wayne Gillman, on the K. Thompson live show.
I tell you.
Briana Scott.
Hello.
And welcome. I'm a little bit late with the intro.
That's
the
Thank
best
you.
show on the radio,
Best
K.
show.
Thompson live.
Right. Big fun.
I'm the co-host, the son. I know you guys are hearing me on a little bit of delay. I'm watching you guys on Ustream, so just bear with it, Wayne.
All right. Do I have enough makeup on? I know I should have gotten a haircut, but hey.
I just wanted to. We were talking about, and I don't mean to interrupt the discussion here, but I wanted to get your thoughts, Wayne. Certainly, you as the voice of WLIB News Radio, legendary as you are, next to my mom.
She's more a legend than I.
The State of the Union. You know, we got hot topics.
Right.
I want to talk about State of the Union.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the president last night. You know, I thought he hit on all the points that needed to be sounded, particularly the education issue, the issue of crime that is going on in this country. The minimum wage was very important.
Yeah.
And I also...
Immigration
included. I'm just saddened by the reaction of the Republican Party.
Well,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. But the thing is, it's like we're on the precipice of having another problem showdown with them in a couple of weeks over the budget. And I just wonder, you know, if anything is going to ever get done. Can they meet? Even the president went out of his way last night and said, if they have a serious issue with the Affordable Health Care Plan, he's open to hearing suggestions to making it even better than what it is. But obviously, they've taken a position that regardless of what progress is being made, that they still want to condemn it.
Yeah.
They would rather vote on it again. And I just find that a slap in the face. You know, it to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's despicable and it's racist.
Of course,
that's really what it is.
They don't want to do any business with President Obama. He's finally said it himself because he is black. Period.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for a long time. Everybody knows it.
And he knew it going in, but I tell you, Kay, but you want to think that we're at a point in our lives.
No, I don't think anything about them other than negatively, because they put it out there like that all the time.
You know, and then when you see what goes on around the country in terms of certain states, just the overall posture of the party. There's no one in there that just seems to even resonate in any way with any kind of reason. Even every once in a while, you'll see a glimpse of it coming out of Boehner when he trashed the Tea Party.
A real glimpse.
Yeah, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah.
And he's at a point now where there's a little miscegenation in his family.
One would not think.
Oh yeah, no. His daughter married a Rasta.
Oh.
So I just wonder how that's going. I'm serious. This is not entertainment tonight. I forgot. It's the Kate Thompson show. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
She married a Rastaman.
Yes, she did.
Oh, really? From which island, Mike?
From the only island Rastas.
Jamaica.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I like him
as
now.
concerned about the island as the fact that she married a Rasta. That is really
it says a lot. It says a lot about her personality.
Yeah.
And maybe it accounts for him being so dark everywhere. I thought he was in a, sitting under the sunbather. It's between that and the cigarette smoker. Again, forgive the levity, but this is not entertainment tonight. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
But, one thing listen, I haven't seen it in a long time. Go ahead, Eric.
I was just going to say, I've always thought that for a certain certain number of the population that is racist, that happens to be of European descent, certain population of them that follow that Tea Party that's based in the racism, that they can't get over a black president, or just really obviously the presidents of black people, and any other people of color for that matter. I've always taken the notion that they would rather see this country burn down to nothing than share it with other people that have been here, and most certainly share it with the original Native Americans who were limited to a parcel of land, land that was their country, that these individuals will stop at nothing. They would rather burn this country down than share it with people, the indigenous people that were here first, and then the people that have come here afterward, because we're all immigrants to this country. And it is unbelievable the lengths to which they go. I mean, it is really Obama derangement syndrome, because they lose their mind when they start talking about this stuff where they don't pay attention to facts. Nothing. Everything goes out the window. All you got to do is listen to an individual like Michelle Bachmann, who just completely makes things up. And I don't know how. It's got me thinking about running for office, because I'm just looking at how idiotic some of these people are.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, if she's in office, I know I could get elected.
Well, Eric, don't even minimize. I mean, you don't even wade anywhere near where those folks are. I also, as you mentioned Bachmann, I wanted to get your take on the replacement, I guess, for Palin out west, the young lady who gave the Republican response. She's just recently a mother, third time.
Around.
No. There was someone that there's another one.
There is.
Yeah, she gave the Republican response.
McMorris.
McMorris. I couldn't think of her name offhand. Yeah. What was your feeling about her last night?
Well, I didn't watch any of their responses. I knew what they were going to say, so I really didn't watch, and I had work to do, so I kind of knew what was going to be their take. I've seen her speak on other occasions, and she seems to be towing the party line as far as they're concerned. I just wonder for women where the line is drawn to issues that concern women. I mean, the issue of choice, pro-choice. I mean, where do some of these very conservative Republican women come down on issues that relate to them? I'm sure they all stood up when the president said equal pay for women for equal jobs. They all stood up, but I'm wondering where they stand with the pro-choice movement.
Well, I happen to. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You have Mike Huckabee saying things like Uncle Sugar. What century is this moron from? And the fact that he got elected governor of a state, it's mind-boggling to me that you really. And I've spoken to people that are in the Midwest and Texas, and the ones that happen to be Democrats have worked as a telemarketer working for Democratic and progressive organizations. And speaking to some people that live in these red states, they're like, man, we are the only ones here holding down the fort, because these people that live around here are idiots. And it's almost like, if you asked people to believe that Jesus might be black, you're messing with a whole lot of people's belief system.
Forget about it.
When you start doing that, a whole bunch of crazy things start happening. When you mess with the very foundation of their belief system.
Right. Ask Paul Ledeen.
Yeah, about that, right.
No, but not to interrupt you, Eric. I understand what you're saying.
But before you go on, I'm going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Van Sertimer, and Len Gunther along those lines about the evolution of man and where man is from.
Right.
Now, this is going to blow everybody away again, but we're going to be doing this.
Yeah, it's important that so people know the history and all that. But one of the reasons why I brought up McMorris, whether you saw it or not, I just think the party's off to a new agenda now to show. Remember back in 2000, they had Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, and a few other blacks on the periphery to show some sort of element of inclusion. Now they're taking, with 2016 coming in the new presidential contest, there's no standard bearer for the GOP to my knowledge. I don't see the cast of characters who ran before running again. And now that they're using her as like the face of the party at last night, having and the way she talked about her background and she's a mother and she's challenged and things like that. There's some other MO going on underneath all that, and that's what I'm looking at. And I'm just wondering what agenda they hope to put forth now to counter what the Democrats have built all this time.
Yeah, one thing I do like the
fact
I
think
that, I do like.
Go ahead, Ma.
I do like the fact that Obama is really, for females, for womanhood. Okay, and he is doing a lot, regarding economic equality.
Right.
And it's so difficult to believe that the Republicans are against so many things.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything for women in that party, except to use them for whatever purposes they have to use them for, and it's really resentful.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really resentful. I have a lot of resentfulness about them, or because of the fact that they are the men.
But they know it. That's the thing that really kills me about them.
How pathetic.
They are aware of it, and they know to a certain extent they're sexist.
Yeah. We have 4 minutes to break, but Briana, have you?
Let me float this out for you guys if I can.
Go ahead.
And this is kind of just something that popped into my mind because it's their obsession with abortion and wanting to control what a woman does, and when this fake preacher, whatever Mike Huckabee is, talks about controlling a woman's libido and tries to somehow in some kind of crazy argument flip the argument and make it look like the Democrats. I'm just wondering whether it's not that they just really are feeling a shortage of white people. So they want more. They want women to stop having abortions so we could have more white people to fill up the coffers because they feel like they're becoming the minority. Unfortunately, I don't know why, but
they are.
I'm just wondering if that's it. If it's in some of these individuals, not all. Obviously, we know that's not the case with the majority of people. But I'm wondering if that's their thing. Are they worried about extinction? They're worried about becoming the minority in the United States.
I really think they are.
So we want our women to have more kids and not have pro-choice, and maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, but that's proper. Yeah. That is the subtle agenda behind it. But they can't compete with my Latino brothers. They got some super pill that they take, and anyway.
Easy.
I just wondered, since you go to school in Europe now, Briana, in Leeds.
Yes.
Leeds University in London. What about? How do the people there feel about black people in their own country? I mean, do you get that level of racism there?
Well, where I am, Leeds is 2 hours north of London.
Yeah.
But, London is known to be diverse.
Yeah.
Very diverse. Middle Eastern people, black people straight from Africa, people that come straight from their countries to go there in London. But where I am, I'm surrounded by people that have been born in Leeds, grown up there. So I do have a different, experience out there right now. But it is, my personal experience has been actually pretty pleasant, actually.
Yeah, right.
It's known to be one of the racist-ish kind of cities, actually. Leeds.
Non-racial.
No, it is known to be a little racist because of where it's mostly English people, used to their own traditions, their culture and lifestyle. And that is not a big population of black people or any.
So they're racist, race, but they don't show it, or what? I don't understand.
I just didn't get that impression myself. I think because of where I am, it's heavily student dominated. So
okay.
They're
always
used
a
to
student body there. Going to different.
More apt to different.
Right.
Be receptive to different cultures and everything.
Yeah.
But that's just not, where I am. But yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a break in just about a minute, but you know one thing, I'm just going to change it a little bit about education for a couple minutes and then come back to the education thing and also to what's happening in New Jersey with the teachers who have been suspended for speaking out.
Wow.
Freedom of speech is no longer existent in New Jersey, everyone, especially with the teachers. They are being fired over there. I'm telling you right now, so we're going to be, hanging with this story for a while.
Certainly.
And, sure. But the teachers are fighting back, which I like.
That's a good thing. I understand your governor's behind that, too.
Well, I think the head of the education department, state education department, I think his name is Sertz, and I think that he was appointed by Governor Chris Christie. So a lot of, turmoil in the schools there, a lot of closing of the schools.
A tangled web we weave.
And, yeah, how about that? And they're not concentrating on, let's see, they're not doing things to the benefit of minority students. Okay, according to my opinion. I used to teach in Newark, so therefore I know.
Right.
Well, what they do, I mean, it's insidious, really, once you control the educational system and once you control information and how people are taught. You know, it's like when slavery, they indoctrinated not only, obviously, the slaves that you're born a slave, but they indoctrinated white people who might not have grown up with that perspective, that this was the way that the world is supposed to be. So fast forward to all these hundreds of years later, now we have a school system that basically they do that. It's just more insidious now. They indoctrinate people what they want to learn. I saw a story about the Koch brothers, that where they're sponsoring fellowships and sponsoring people to have these fellowships, I think, and to work, and sponsoring fellowships at college universities to teach along the lines, and sponsoring these fellowships to say that there's no such thing as climate change.
Yeah.
So what they do is they sponsor these fellowships. These people then have to teach along the lines of what basically these guys that are funding their fellowship want. So they're trying to control information. They're trying to control education.
That's amazing.
And it's unbelievable that's what they do.
We do have to go for a break, and we want to come right back to what you're saying, Eric. So everyone stay with us. We'll be right back. This is Kay Thompson Live with
Briana Scott.
And
Wayne Gillman.
And your name, Sarah, on the phone? My son.
Eric Payne.
All right. We'll be right back. Stay with us, everyone.
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Networks, Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak in these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit, modify, or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission of GoPro Radio Networks, Inc. GoPro Radio Networks assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with these broadcasts or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, or playing device.
The greatest website.
Okay, we are back. Kay Thompson here on Kay Thompson Live with Eric Payne, with Briana Scott, with Wayne Gillman, with me.
And you mentioned Eric already.
Yeah, I mentioned Eric, sure. Going to continue. But, I want to talk about education for a minute. These teachers in Newark, New Jersey, I used to teach at one of the schools that they are in the process of closing now. Now I don't know what's going to be put in that place, but, we're going to be staying with this story because they fired, first of all, they fired, or suspended, I should say, 4 teachers out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was such an outcry. Because we were doing, I was furious on the air to hear about this. And it got all around, and they've been hearing all kinds of things about it. Now the teachers are, reinstated.
So there isn't a budget issue with this at all.
Let me just ask you, do you have a caller on your line there?
I'm sure. Do we have another caller? Mohammed, somebody? Yes, we do. Let's see where the call is from. Yes. You're on the air.
I think you might have, is there a number there that might have the Congressman Donald Payne Jr.?
Is that a 6? Number starts with a 6?
Hello?
Caller?
Hello?
Yes, Congressman Payne.
Hello? Yes.
Yes, Congressman Donald Payne.
Kate,
Thompson.
Yes, sir. You're on the air. We saw you on television.
How are you this evening?
Fine. We saw you on television last night talking to El Presidente.
Oh yes. I have discovered a way to get to him.
And that way was what?
Well, there's a ritual, the State of the Union. You know, there are members that get to the floor at 10:30 and sit in a seat till that time, 8:30, when the president comes to speak. Now, a lot of people aren't that stay there that long, but they start actually. Some people start camping out around 5 o'clock. 4:30, but you know, Miss Thompson, you know me for a long time, and you know, I have a little thing. I'm going to be late to my funeral, so I don't get there that early, and
but you're on time.
But what I've learned to do is get on his way out. Get in a good position to where he's going to have to stop and talk to me, and last year, I was able to get to him, and he turned to me and said that he liked my tie. I had a bow tie on that I've kind of been known to wear. They said he looked at it, he really liked the tie, and he said he didn't remember my father dressing that sharp. So this year, I got to the floor when I normally do. Right around the time the president arrives, and went through the State of the Union, and as he was leaving, I made my little beeline, was right there, and I told him this year I was trying to throw him off. I didn't wear a bow tie.
We know
Did he notice that? Did he?
Wait a minute.
So,
yeah, and then as he turned, he was really laughing. So we have a very nice relationship.
Yeah.
I always try to, you know, be a little clever or witty with him.
Yeah.
Because I know he's under such pressure, and you know, everyone needs to smile. So I try to you know, give him a moment just to get a quick chuckle whenever he sees me. Mm-hmm. So, but we deal with important issues every day. But in those moments like that, you know, he deserves to be treated like any other person, and be able to smile. So.
What was
Go
ahead, Aaron.
I was going to say, what was your assessment about, you know, the temper of the room vis-a-vis the Democrats and the Republicans, particularly when the president was talking about, you know, some of the issues and things that he's trying to do? Because, you know, people have been talking about him being really, you know, as Wayne was saying, Mr. Gillman was saying a little while ago, really conciliatory, really trying to open up the floor to work with Republicans once again. And you talked about, you know, raising the minimum wage. I don't know who could be against that.
Yeah.
They have the backwards philosophy of that actually might hurt jobs. But what was the assessment in the room as you were there listening to the president?
Well, I think that the president basically is between a rock and a hard place, and based on the optimism that he showed last year in his State of the Union, and really not being able to get any of those things accomplished, the speech was very tempered this year. But you know, I continue to be optimistic about his ability to get things done, and he made it clear he is on numerous occasions, and he started out his presidency asking, you know, the Republicans to work with him, and at some point in time that didn't work, so he had to do what he had to do, and then they started talking about how he doesn't reach out to the Congress, but he started out very openly with the Congress, asking them for their impressions, asking them how they could work together, but to no avail. And so here we are, his fifth State of the Union, and the one last year was very optimistic and looking to get a lot of things done. And so now I applaud him, because basically he told them last night, if you have good ideas, if you have things that will work, if there's things that we can come together on, then let's do that.
Exactly.
But guess what?
But if not,
I'm not going to wait around.
Yes.
I'm not going to wait around anymore for Congress to sit on their hands. I'm going to use executive orders to get things accomplished. And I say bravo.
Loved that.
Right.
Yeah.
This president has used executive orders less than any other president. The last 4 presidents, he's used the executive order 167 times. George Bush, it looks like George Bush used it over 300-400 times.
God.
Clinton 600 times. FDR 3,000 times.
Wow.
And
so he's not setting any precedent. He's been very restrained in using that, and now's the time for him to do it. So I applauded him, and I sent the message to my liaison to the president today: is you do what you need to do. You use that executive order, and I support you wholeheartedly.
That's right.
Because you're not going to get anything from this Congress, period.
That's absolutely right.
Congressman Wayne Gillman here. I just wanted to interject for a minute. One of the things that I picked up last night, and there was like a renewed confidence about him.
Yes.
He's a great orator,
Yes.
Bar none. I mean, I can't think of anyone who comes close to him. Even Clinton, for that matter.
Yeah.
But the deal is that there was I hate to use the word swagger, but and I don't want to say arrogance, but there was a confidence about him now.
Yes, I got that.
And that's what I picked up.
Yeah.
And I feel that it was important that he just said what he said, whether you're going to work with me or not. And of course, we are always measured by a different standard.
You know what? I completely agree with that. He gave me that feeling that, all right, I tried. I tried to get along with you.
Yeah.
I did this, I did that. Now I have 3 more years or 4 more years. Now you're going to find out what I'm really like.
Because if he started using all sorts of executive privileges in the first term, they would have said, "Oh, look at that, yada yada." I don't want to say.
Well, they can say it now. Who cares?
Exactly. So it's just one of those things. But I don't know if you perceive or picked up the same temperament about him. And I just feel that he's going for broke now. He has nothing to lose. It's about his legacy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you could tell that by even his mention of the Affordable Care Act. He said, look, if you have ideas that'll strengthen it, if you have ideas that'll make it better, if you have ideas that you can support, then tell me.
Yeah.
Let me know, and let's work it out.
He threw the challenge out there.
But listen, don't vote against it another 40 times for a law that's already helping millions of Americans.
Exactly.
And I said bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And basically, from my standpoint and being a member of Congress, you're absolutely right, Mr. Gillman. He basically said, "Hey, look, fellas and ladies," and the tone in it is basically that. He says, "I tried, I bent over backwards. Guess what? Now I'm going without you."
Exactly.
I would put it in a different way.
Yeah.
I also like.
I think everyone who saw that, Kay.
I forgot about cameras. But I also like what he said about support for the military.
Right.
Okay. I also like what he said about economic security and economic equality for women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think that they should be, the Republicans are on the run now. And they should be on the run. That's the whole thing, because they are not doing anything for the majority of the American people at this particular point, other than I think they're all out for themselves. And they are all, not all of them, but great numbers of them, the rich. Okay? They're not involved with the middle class. There's too many jobs that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for people to eat.
That's true. I'm just thinking, and since we have the congressman here, I wanted to get his opinion about McMorris last night. Why her? I know they couldn't use Chris Christie, but in terms of a response to the Democratic State of the Union address. But what were your thoughts about? Are they propping her up for perhaps the big challenge in 2016?
No, I think it's it's a matter of a party in disarray. They had 3 different responses, so that means they're not together. And I think they were looking for a kind of middle of a road, kinder, gentler response. She was very demure at times, and just very subtle and kind, and so I think they were reaching out to independents that might cross over the line to vote for someone like that or listen to her opinion, and basically saying, well, she wasn't such a bad woman. She was very articulate and very calm. So it was going for the middle of the road in the response, as opposed to Rand Paul and who was the other responder?
Mike Lee, Tea Party.
Mike Lee. Right.
Yeah.
So you had one presidential hopeful, one Tea Partier, and someone that was trying to maybe continue to make the Republican Party look mainstream. And for full disclosure, can I say something?
Certainly.
Sure.
Please do.
I don't know who that lady is.
Who, McMorris?
I don't know who that lady is.
Wait a minute, is she a member of Congress?
I think I might have seen her once or twice. She looked a little familiar, so I probably.
Well, she's been having babies now. You got to give her a break.
But
because we're all 435 of you guys.
What?
I have not had much interaction with her. I believe I've seen her on the floor, but I don't know her.
All right. We have to go for a break. Listen, we have to go for a break right now, but we will be right back. But one more thing, you know what I like? I like to give this out to everyone. There is no more long standing on line to vote. Did you hear the president say that?
Yeah.
We will be right back, everyone. Stay with us. Kay Thompson live with what's your name?
GoPro Radio, the fastest growing network in the galaxy, is leaner and meaner with a new attitude, new technology, and a brand new lineup. Tune in and get wired every Wednesday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern with the BCS Experience featuring Byron C. Saunders, formerly of New York City's WBAI. Then at 6 p.m., it's the Black Agenda TV Express featuring sought-out political commentator Glenn Ford, formerly of America's Black Forum. Then at 8 p.m., it's time for Kay Thompson Live with the legendary radio host Kay Thompson of Inner City Broadcasting's WLIB and her son, renowned actor Eric Payne, who starred in such films as Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, Drop Squad, and many more. Then, at 9 p.m., it's Food Rap, featuring Nina Markel, a.k.a. the unofficial mayor of Jersey City, and former Viacom marketing guru Shauna Glover. Last but not least, at 10 p.m. Eastern, it's The Sexy Party Show, with the bad boy of dating Mr. Locario of I Love New York fame and his partner in crime, Miles Cunningham. So get wired every Wednesday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, only on the GoPro Radio Network, www.goproradio.com. Listen to the voices in your head.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
And we are back.
Wayne Gillman.
Briana
Scott.
Eric Payne, the legendary Eric Payne.
Yes, sir.
And the congressman. And speaking of Congressman Donald M. Payne Jr., it's been brought to my attention that, Congressman, you're having a big Super Bowl weekend kickoff reception this Friday night.
Here.
Can you hear me, or can he? Well, yeah. Anyway, I'll certainly
just read. Can.
Okay, very good. I understand that you're having this big reception at the clubhouse in Montclair, and if you could tell us a little bit about what's expected that evening.
Well,
or maybe Eric can tell.
We expect to.
Yeah.
Maybe Eric can fill us in on what to expect.
Right. Well, what we're doing, what we're going to have is a little fundraiser, a little celebrating that the Super Bowl is in New Jersey, and people that are supportive of the congressman's hard work, we're asking them to come on out, show some more support. You know, unfortunately nowadays, what's happening and for people to serve and put good people in, because of the Citizens United decision and the Koch brothers, they're making it finances to be a thing that's is becoming more and more difficult for the average person to take part in the political process. Mm-hmm. So we have to spend time raising funds so we can continue to do the work for the people in the 10th district of the state of New Jersey. So this fundraiser that's going to be at the clubhouse in Montclair, New Jersey, on this Friday, is a pre-Super Bowl a weekend kickoff reception, and that we're going to be having. And we're inviting all of our supporters to come on out and support us. We have various levels that people can support at, the basic level is $150 if someone wants to come and have some hors d'oeuvres with us and some drinks. The clubhouse is a very nice location, and we're going to get there, and we're inviting everybody to come on out and support Congressman Don Payne Jr.
How can they find out more about it, Eric? Eric?
If they would like to have information about it, they can contact me actually at 973-405-8037.
Okay, let's give that number again.
Once again, that's 973-405-8037. And just if I can say that I've seen the growth in my cousin. We grew up with our parents being involved in civil rights, as many black people were during the day. And he's grown into the footsteps of his father very well. I mean, I know him as well as anybody. Better than a lot. And better than many people. And I've seen him step into those shoes. And I know that he's a concerned individual about other people in the world. And he's living up to his father's footsteps. So come on out and support him if you will.
I'll say one thing. As an observer from New York, it has been a really smooth transition.
Yeah.
And he's on some very important committees, Eric, the Homeland Security Committee. He's a ranking member of the Subcommittee on Emergency Preparedness, Response and Communications, and Committee on Small Business, And these are very, very important things in which we need a voice and a face to at least, resonate with the issues that we're facing and things of that nature. So, again, it's Friday night between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m., and there's suggested contributions. The MVP individual would have to cough up $1,000, but that's like a small, it's just a drop in the bucket for some people living in Montclair. The team captain, $500, team member $250, and a fan, which is about what I could afford, is $150. But I think people, in all seriousness, should come out and support this effort.
Yeah, because you can't have somebody running for office and with absolutely no funds.
No, of course not. No,
so that's the reality that we've got to deal with. Also, I want to say, there's a birthday bash in Missouri, and it's Malachi Majestic. And he's having a birthday bash, and he has battle rap, and I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, big event. So happy birthday to Malachi. Majestic.
Which is going to be tomorrow, actually, on the 30th.
Happy birthday.
And the battle rap is something that these young people could come together and they could express, they have their creativity, expression, and it's also a way that they can get rid of some of those beefs maybe they have online, challenging each other and doing it in a positive way. And so it's very positive what Malachi is doing out there.
The language may be a little raw, but the point is they're doing that so they can fuss out using words. Okay.
You're showing your age, Ma.
Well, rap
is of a new generation.
Rather they use some of those words than use their fists and other weapons.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's
right. True.
So therefore,
I remember the days, Kay, we used to question whether rap would have a category in the Grammys. You remember that?
Yeah, we remember some.
Who would have
thunk it?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to get to Briana for a minute too about going to school in Leeds. Was it difficult? Getting into Leeds there.
Well, in my situation, it's a little different because I'm coming from Bermuda, and from Bermuda I have a British passport, which opens up different avenues different resources that you can use for financial aid and housing and everything. So I basically am considered a British citizen, and I get to
and an American citizen
and a Bermudian citizen. But the best citizenship that I can use, that I use over there, is obviously my British one, where what's available to me is the tuition fee loan is able to be covered for me. So the only financial aid that I have to look for.
Oh wow, got that all that static.
Yeah, it sounds a lot better now.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear myself. But no, now all I need to look for now, since I am a British citizen, is a maintenance grant or loan or scholarship, because the tuition fee loan is paid for since I am considered a British subject.
Yeah.
One question quickly. I know you're in Leeds, but the issue of security and Scotland Yard's involvement with respect to minorities, and I hate to use the word minority, people of color and Asians, I understand it's very intense there. Have you experienced that?
Actually, to be quite honest, no, I haven't. This is all I've been hearing, that Leeds is actually considered one of those places that's considered to have one of that type of problem there.
Wow.
Racism.
Racism.
Yeah.
Leeds, anywhere northern.
But you haven't found that.
I haven't. My personal experience, no.
Must be different on a college campus.
Exactly.
Then. Yeah.
And my college campus is spread out in the city center, so it's you're mixed in with everyone from Leeds, and the bus drivers are very nice. I actually even had to compliment a bus driver one time because I take the bus 20 minutes away from where I live into my campus. And the bus driver is such a delight. He says, "Oh, hi, love," and, ta and everything. And I actually had to say, you really brighten up my day, because it's dark weather, the dim circumstances. He's always so happy-go-lucky, and he encourages people, and he's just a bus driver.
Nice.
I had to stop one day and say thank you.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that experience, really.
Donald Payne Jr. is still on the congressman. Are you still on the line?
Yeah. Yes.
Your Republicans in Congress could take some lessons from Briana.
From the bus
some
driver.
Advice, from the bus driver in Leeds in England.
Yeah. I wish I got his name.
The Republicans in Congress. We'll supply them with his name. Tell them for us.
Well, it's quite different out there with no constitution.
Yeah.
Two opposing parties in office right now.
I want to ask the congressman too. Congressman, there's a situation of the teachers, having a hard time in the city of Newark. You have any comment on that? And that's in your ward where you used to, you're the congressman of the South Ward primarily. Can you hear?
Yes, and I live next door to a 25-year veteran of the Newark Public School System. And she forwarded me a article about what's transpiring, and on the as I've become a federal representative, sometimes those things are a little distant for me, but there's no way that I can continue to be quiet in reference to what's going on.
Thank you.
With this superintendent, and she, I am trying to discern, if whether she's a real estate agent setting up leases with all these other charter schools, or a superintendent that is looking at the curriculum for these youngsters to move forward. I mean, I've heard nothing about improvement in test scores, what she has to say about education and the curriculum. All she's been doing is closing schools and leasing them to charter schools.
She resents teachers having freedom of speech.
We can get anybody to be a landlord or a rental agent.
Exactly.
But we need someone that's going to head the schools and turn it in a new direction. We all know that there are things that need to be done. It's obvious. It's clear. What is she doing other than selling schools?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Exactly.
I have seen nothing.
Exactly.
So, I'm to the point where I'm going to have to weigh in and, start to question these things, because you're right. Even though I'm a federal representative, this is my hometown.
That's right.
And if I feel someone is abusing it, then it's my obligation to step forward. Look, I heard earlier someone mentioned about the school system and the budget. The Newark public school system is close to $1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's with a B. It is $1 billion budget.
Yep.
So nobody, the state, the governor, the superintendent don't want to give that up.
Well, listen. The superintendent.
That's a lot of contracts, a lot of money that goes out. It's larger than the city's budget.
Also, Congressman, now the head of the New Jersey State Department of Education, I think his name is Sertz. Am I correct about that, or am I wrong? If I'm wrong, I'll apologize.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're correct.
Okay, now, wasn't he appointed by Governor Chris Christie?
Absolutely.
Okay, just saying. They're Republicans. Just saying.
Well, it seems like from the time Christie entered, started his term as governor, he had been after education, almost taking a page for what Michael Bloomberg did in New York with regard to firing teachers, taking a look at the charter school system. I remember there was some conversation a while back about his thoughts on that. And the thing is, just the other day, I don't know if it was political expediency on his part, but he endorsed the Amistad plan that Bill Payne had heralded for so long and put together. And I was just, I don't know if it was a photo op that he did this because he wanted to distract.
Well, I haven't heard of
people.
Listen, I haven't heard of a whole lot of schools using the Amistad legislation. Some of those schools out there, of course it's important.
Yeah.
However, it really is not pushed. So let's say it's an important piece of legislation. And in other words, what that legislation says is that African American history must be taught as a part of world history in the state schools. All right, but where is it going?
But I find,
now he's for it.
What I found so peculiar that he would hold a news conference and a photo op.
Yeah. Now
2 weeks into the Bridgegate controversy, that
there
he would,
you go.
just as a distraction. And I just said to myself, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like people can't see through that.
Are you opinion about that, Chop? Donald? Congressman?
I concur. Those of us who know the former assemblyman, his passion for this legislation and his persistence can be overwhelming at times. Take it from me, I know.
Yeah.
But I think it is just very important that this landmark legislation be incorporated. And as public servants, and I've said this on several occasions, I believe that, my father was able to accomplish many great things, and that can't be denied. I really think that as a family of public servants, that the Amistad legislation and the racial profiling legislation in the state of New Jersey are probably two of the greatest accomplishments that we as public service have been able to deliver to the people of New Jersey. My father's work with HIV/AIDS and malaria in Africa people have told me since I've gone to Congress that the congressman is responsible for millions of people not dying from those two issues on the continent. So, when you step back and look at it, there are some incredible accomplishments that we've been able to do as public servants as a family. But I think the Amistad legislation and the racial profiling legislation in the state of New Jersey are two pinnacles that I am so proud that I am related to people that have moved forward in a manner in which these things have been important.
Yeah.
And I believe the racial profiling, if I'm not mistaken, and Congressman, you can correct me if I can, was the first such legislation in the country.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
All right. Can you hold Can you hold on for this for just a minute? We're getting a signal that we need to go for a break, and then Eric will come right back to you and talk to the congressman about this, what you were just talking about. Okay. Stay with us, everyone. We are right back. We're going to be right back. True? Yes.
Interrupt this broadcast to bring you a great opportunity. If you have a product or service, a talent or something important to say, now's your chance to have your own radio show. Whether you're just starting out or a veteran looking for a professional platform to enhance your presentation, the GoPro Radio Network is the premier place to cultivate and share new and exciting content. We'll help you to grow your audience and keep it growing long after your first broadcast. Now you have a voice. Call 212-696-8562 today or visit www.goproradio.com and you'll be amazed at how easy and affordable it is to have your own radio show on the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio. Listen to the voices in your head.
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Networks, Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak in these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit, modify, or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission of GoPro Radio Networks, Inc. GoPro Radio Networks assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with these broadcasts or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, or playing device.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Listen to the voices in my head a lot of tell you, But listen, we just have a short period of time left. And Wayne, I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with such a distinguished family and everyone's particularly.
Well, we'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the. What did you see coming in? You saw the.
Oh, we saw the brigade of the whoever. I don't know if it was either Broncos or
the Seahawks,
but they
teammates.
one or the other, but we saw 3 buses coming in and the helicopter flying above us,
right above our heads,
and the police cars and everything going to their hotel.
That's amazing.
That's where I'm going after this.
Yeah.
To the hotel?
Yeah, I just want to know them.
Is a friend of yours listening in?
Oh, yes.
You want to say hello to him?
Yes, my boyfriend Kenny is listening.
Boy, Kenny's a lucky guy, I tell you.
Just to let you know, we're going there after.
Yeah, your Uncle Eric is listening in.
And my Uncle Eric.
Yeah, but
I tell you. I was 40 years younger. Said if I were 80 years younger.
80?
Eric, he said 80.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Looking forward to meeting you.
Okay, that's right. I've been beaten up before. No. Yes, that's all right.
That to Brianna's
okay. No. My name is not Kenny. Actually, forget my name. Kenny.
Eric, is Eric still there? Eric, are you still there?
I'm here.
Anyway.
I won't be back anytime soon, I guess.
No, Wayne Gillman, we'll be back and again and again and again. We go back a long ways, and I have to say I learned a lot under you over there at the other radio station.
You just did better than I did. I had to follow along.
I'm a girl.
Okay, that's true.
It's only natural that we women are superior to men anyway. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
But Eric, Eric, is there anything that you would like to say? And you, Donald, Congressman, rather, to tie up this particular program. Of course, we're going to be doing this again and again. I want to bring attention to the various problems that the community is undergoing. And Obama's going to have a rough time.
Oh, certainly.
In these last years of his term, he's going to have a rough time. We have to support him.
Right.
We really have to support him. We really have to vote when it's necessary to vote. We have to know about politics because you have to be involved because the politicians make your world. Really.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be very much aware of that.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And there's a certain level of political activism in New Jersey that I don't see in New York anymore. I don't know, especially with the passing of Amamu a couple of weeks ago. It's like the warriors that we had way back in the day, they just don't exist on that side of the river.
But his son is stepping up. I'm
just saying, I feel it here with Congressman Payne, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the last journalists to do an interview with his father before he passed, and it's an honor to be with him tonight. But it's just
with his son tonight.
But it's just sad that I don't feel the activism, and I just think that we need to do that, not just here, because I feel it here, but I don't see it on
here,
my side of the river.
Radio,
exactly.
with Ty.
And the New York delegation needs to step up. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well said. We have what is it? I don't see any heads there in the engineering room. 1 minute to the end, right? Was there something that you'd like to? Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for coming in all the way over from where?
Brooklyn.
Oh,
I had to see my dad.
No, I thought
the
you were.
People's Republic of Brooklyn. It's changed.
And
also, Briana, who's going to be going back to Leeds, England.
Yes, and I'll call in and give my updates.
Okay, we want that. We want that. We also want the updates from Bermuda and a few other places. We're going to be talking to one of the ambassadors, who former ambassadors to the United Nations. And Eric Payne, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, I'll see you a little later. We have 1 minute.
See you guys later.
Okay. Right. And Congressman Payne, are you there?
I am, and everyone have a great evening, and it's always a pleasure to be on with you, Kay.
Okay, anytime, and just keep us updated on what's happening there in Congress, so we can pass it on to people, so they will know what their elected officials are doing.
Right.
Because we've got to be their monitors.
Will do.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Will do.
Okay.
Because freedom is responsibility, as Malcolm X said.
Hear, Eric. Hear. Okay.
Thank you.
And this has been Kay Thompson Live, everyone. Again, we're going to be saying hello. We're going to be saying hello and goodbye. We said hello. We're going to be saying goodbye for now. Join us again next Wednesday, everyone, from 8 until 9 o'clock with more, where you're going to be bringing you other exciting programming.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.